really focus on getting the power down.
He made sure when he got off of turn 4, he was square. He knew it was a throwaway lap. He opened his entry into 3 and then got a diamond on the exit.
$13.85 for Martin Truex. That'll be 9th fastest so far.
That'll be not what he was wanting.
Nope.
These conditions are tough. Takes me to Richmond all over again. How many times I was good in race conditions, swap over to qualifying trim, and for just whatever reason, the tires just didn't seem like they would come in. It felt like you were on marbles. Yeah, go back for the fall race, and the thing would hook left and floor it, and it would accept the power and everything. Like, what'd you do different? That is exact same air pressure, exact same setup.
Here's Ryan Blaney for Roger Penske. All-Star race winner last year. Boy, you hear those tires crying.
I think this track.
Wow.
Now this is truly a throwaway lap. Watch this. He's going to turn around, go all the way back to turn 2. Turn that thing around again, make a U-turn here.
Now, since
change that all up.
He did not cross the line. So he's going to come around to complete lap 1 at speed and get a good second lap.
Yeah, they're still not happy.
I would have drove that thing all the way around to the front stretch.
And he's done. That was the checkered flag. Blaney 20th right now. Jamie.
Well, listening to the radios, Mike, Martin Truex Jr. said there is absolutely zero grip out here right now. A little bit frustrated, and Blaney feeling the same.
So we were hearing from NASCAR that where you formerly could go back around and catch up where you were, that's no longer allowed. What Blaney did, so his time will be disallowed. Kevin Harvick on track now, finished second in the first last gas qualifier last year.
Boy, that's a big hit.
Big
Having
hit
to
for the
go
wheel.
back to the starting tail back of a heat race, 25 laps, tall order for Ryan Blaney.
Well, there'll be 9 cars in each heat race, and you have to finish in the first 5 to transfer.
Yeah, we got to watch Bobby Wallace in practice and watch how smooth his hands are. Kevin's have been anything but smooth.
Swatting bees.
Yeah.
Kind of the same way as his teammate Eric Almirola. He got to the center, and you saw him sawing on that wheel, and then it went full wheel lock to the left. Thing took off in a push, wouldn't rotate for him where he could put the throttle down.
Boy, he was busy behind the wheel there.
Watch this. Sawing on it, and then he really gives it one hard pull right there.
And the hard part is you want to be smooth. I mean, obviously smoother's faster, but in this scenario, you have to lay a lap down. You got to do whatever you got to do for one lap. You're not trying to take care of the tires. You're not babying anything. You've just got to get the most out of it, and if that means you got to chase it, you got to chase it.
That's a great point. And if you slip up and you miss a little bit, miss the bottom, you got to get what you get. Go ahead and stab the gas, do everything you can do to try to get the lap time out of it.
And it paid off for Harvick. He is 5th fastest right now. Here's Alex Bowman for Rick Hendrick in a Chevrolet. Jumps up to 4th, 1362 for Bowman.
I want to go back to Harvick, though, and exactly what Tony was talking about, Mike. He was slipping, sliding around. The car was not happy, but that veteran driver still was able to get the power down and be efficient with the lap and, basically saved a pretty ugly lap.
Yeah, you just got to do what you got to do, unfortunately.
Look at here. This is the one that everybody's looking at. It was bad fast last year. This 8 car was awesome fast. Now roles reverse. You got Rowdy Busch in it. I think he's going to make some noise at this event.
Kyle Busch led the most laps in last year's clash before finishing second to Joey Logano. Smooth and second fastest on his first lap.
Slid a little bit through the center of 1 and 2. Not as good.
Now he falls off 5/100ths, so 13:55 for Kyle Busch, second fastest. Justin Haley still on top of the chart.
Kyle Busch second with 13.553.
Austin Cindric, the Daytona 500 winner from last year and Rookie of the Year for Roger Penske.
Did a really good job there, even though he locked the left front tire up. Everybody that we've seen that have done that, it's really made the nose of the car wash up the racetrack in the center. He did a good job of getting to the center, getting off the brake, and letting the front tires catch up.
19th on his first lap. Trying to end up in the top 10 here. And loses a bit off the corner. 16th, 13:91.
Brings up a great point. Just like you said, when that locks up, the only thing you can do to get that wheel lock out of it is the only thing you can't afford to do. Take your foot off that brake, because you have to get the thing slowed down to where it'll rotate and you can get back on the gas.
And it's the opposite of what your brain's telling you. When you're sliding the front tire like that, now you're braking off of 3 tires, not 4, so it's carrying you further in the corner, which makes you naturally want to hold more brake, but you have to get off of it to get that tire to catch up.
Anybody that lives in the north knows that.
Yeah,
Anybody
right.
that lives in the south has no clue.
That's true. Austin Dillon finished 3rd in the clash last year here at the Coliseum. Driving for Richard Childress with new teammate Kyle Busch, who Austin incidentally suggested to his grandfather would make a great teammate.
I think it will. I think it'll help Austin too. I mean, to have somebody like Kyle that has the knowledge that he has, that will help.
It did. It actually did. And you know, after having Kyle Busch's success last year, that 3-ball had the exact same setup in it as Kyle Busch. And look at the proofs in the pudding.
Austin Dillon 4th right now. Kyle Busch is 2nd in the going so far. Tyler Reddick drove that 8 car here last year, was leading in the main event, had a driveline issue. He has now changed teams and manufacturers.
For the most part, they're wanting to stay off of those rumble strips. They may just barely kiss them with the left sides, but want to keep all 4 tires
Checker flag, don't miss your turn.
on the smooth for sure.
11th, 1379.
79 was your best one. That's 11.
That's something I've noticed a little bit different when I went back and watched last year. They weren't all 4 on it, but they were definitely, you know, left sides were on at those rumble strips, cutting the corner a little bit.
Well, part of it too, I don't think they can get down there. They're driving off so hard in the corner that they're not backing their entry up enough with as slick as it is to get down to those strips. I don't know if it'd be more grip or not, but they just have trouble, I think, getting down to it.
Now, Daniel Suarez was the runner-up last year in his qualifying heat. So the 4 fastest drivers, the top 4, will each start on pole in their respective heat race tomorrow.
He got underneath the line.
Checker for Suarez, 7th, 1366.
That's a huge pickup for him. I mean, he has been at the back all day in all 3 practice sessions, but we mentioned it in the practice show. They had that opportunity after the practice before qualifying to make some pretty big changes, and definitely paid off for him.
Chase Briscoe, strong in the main event last year, but he too had a driveline issue. He and Reddick both had problems with the mounting of the transaxle, something NASCAR was quick to remedy after the experience here.
Watch this in-car camera, guys. He's one of the only guys early on that's been shifting. Didn't shift off of that corner. No upshift or down. Maybe he changed it. Decided to go against it, Tony.
And that surprises me. I mean, he was a big fan of up and down shifting for this event. I just think the track's got slick enough that it's just, you can't use the power in first gear right now.
He tried it on his warm-up lap. I saw him downshift, and then you know, when he upshifted, I think when you do that, it just is much more in the RPM range, and it breaks those tires loose a lot easier. That's why I think he chose not to do it.
14:11 on the first lap for Briscoe. He picks up to a 13:73, 10th fastest. Chase Elliott, 11th in the main event last year. He went on to win 5 Cup races last season for Rick Hendrick in this Chevrolet. Justin Haley fastest. Kyle Busch both in Chevys. Eric Almirola's Ford. Then Austin Dillon, A.J. Allmendinger.
He's 19th in speed in practice.
7 drivers to go.
Didn't get it to the bottom. A little bit better, 3 and 4, but I don't think it's the lap he's looking for.
No, 24th fastest, 14:08.
Yeah, just the front of that car just would not cut like he needed it to.
This track gets any colder, those tires are going to start giving off sparks. Six drivers left to go. Here's William Byron for Rick Hendrick. Finished 6th in the Clash last year. Ran the entire race in the top 10.
William is just such a smooth, calculated driver. You never see him miss his marks, overdrive the entry, a lot of the things that are so easy to do at a track like this.
12th on his first lap.
Yeah, and you can see it, just smooth and almost effortless, not overdriving the car, being very efficient with the wheel and the throttle.
Nice lap, 3rd fastest, 13:59. And that right now gives Chevrolet 3 of the 4 heat pole positions. Who would have picked Justin Haley to be the pole sitter for this event?
Probably somebody that's older and wiser than Clint and I.
He was fast last year. He was definitely fast last year.
Denny Hamlin won the first last chance qualifier last year to transfer, but had mechanical problems in the main event. See what his Toyota can do. Right now, the fastest Toyota is Bubba Wallace in 12th.
Big lockup in turn 1.
Didn't affect it too much.
A lot of speed here.
Hooked that bottom well. Didn't work.
6th, 13:62 for Hamlin. He is the fastest Toyota.
For a wheel lockup as drastic as he had, that was a pretty sporty lap. Again, it kind of takes me back to Kevin Harvick. You know, kind of an ugly lap, but because of his experience and knowledge behind the wheel, still was effective.
Christopher Bell finished 8th in last year's main event. Went on to win 3 times in 2022 and make the championship 4. Very smooth, but isn't fast. 10th on lap 1.
Got the power down off it too, for sure.
Bell is 3rd. Fastest Toyota, 13:56.
Right now, hey, that's all you can ask for. Stay right there. Put me on the pole of one of these heat races.
Top 4 drivers will start on pole in their respective heats. And we now know that Justin Haley will be one of those 4. So he is locked in a pole position as Kyle Larson takes to the track in his Hendrick Chevrolet.
Green.
Finished 5th in this race last year.
White.
16th for Larson on his first lap.
Just the front end of that car just doesn't track. It's been a thorn in his foot the whole day trying to get to where the nose would go.
It did a little bit better. Oh, he got high off of 4, but I agree. It's just that car, from the time he got on the racetrack, it just seems like it's light on his feet, up on top of that racetrack.
So 10th for Larson. That locks Justin Haley and Kyle Busch into pole positions for tomorrow.
Now he's starting to get nervous, Tony.
Ross Chastain failed to make the main event last year, but then had 2 wins and became the NASCAR Cup Series runner-up for the championship.
Had a good time with Ross Friday night. We did a piece with the WWE boys. Nobody got body slammed, but we had a ton of fun with those guys. Always neat to see that world. And just be able to mesh our sport in NASCAR with any other world is tons of fun. Very meaningful.
Chastain 12th on his first lap, and that is the lap of record. So that will lock Christopher Bell onto a pole position. And there's one more at stake. It'll be William Byron or last year's winner and champion Joey Logano.
I thought for Ross that was a really good lap because we could hear the front tires really chattering that lap. That showed up on the stopwatch way better than it sounded.
Green flag.
Logano, last year's Clash winner, ended up winning the NASCAR Cup Championship in Phoenix when the season ended in mid-November. Ninth on his first lap, 14:05. '17th for Logano. So Justin Haley has won his first Clash pole. He started on the pole for Heat 3 last year, went on to win his heat